Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Nova War
and Maximus Black,
and we are bringing you, not live, but it's at least coverage of our first ever Starcraft 2 tournament for the mid-level community. Jeff, I am excited. How about you?
I'm pretty pumped, and I'll first go and say that the tournament was a frigging success. Couple of little headaches at the very beginning, but to be expected. It was our very first tournament, but nonetheless, it was friggin' awesome. Everyone had a good time, and there is a winner, and we're going to be working on bringing you the whole coverage throughout this sort of cast.
That's very true, but what do we have right now? This is our honorable mention, is it not, sir?
It is. It's an honorable mention. Unfortunately, we can't cast every game that happened earlier today and yesterday, but we can cast. We will cast the semifinals and the finals, and we decided to cast this specific game because it was friggin' awesome.
That's very true. And who do we have in this honorable mention?
We have Dysk, and he is starting in the north position as a red Zerg, and in the south position we have Pyaasa. Pyaasa.
Sure.
Hope we're saying that right, but it is Pyaasa, and he is in the south position starting as the yellow Zerg. And you know what? There's a lot of Zergs in this tournament.
There was a really, a huge number of Zerg, and it was kind of depressing because there was only like one Protoss in the entire tournament, and so, you know, I'm probably not going to be the most useful person for any of these casts, but, you know, I'm sure you'll correct me when I say something horrendously wrong.
Yeah, well, I'm a Zerg player, so luckily I may know a little bit more than you. But anyway, yeah, so we want to go out and thank everybody that had participated into the tournament. I'm sorry if we don't get to do your games like coverage. We will keep them on file, and if, you know, later on we need to cast some games, we'll definitely cast the ones that were exciting.
Yeah, for sure. So, you know, this as this game progresses here, I want to say a couple more things real quick about the tournament. One was that we did have some people not show up, and you know, that was fine because we had a backup list, so that was okay. And we had to do some scrambling, which was also okay. And it was to be expected. You know, the first tournament was going, you know, a little crazy, but we did straighten it away. So if you guys saw the ladder and are now noticing that, hey, Pyaasa is definitely not on that ladder, that is why. He is one of the backup people that we had to pull into this tournament, and it was good that we did because he ended up being a very, very good player.
Yeah, he really was, and I'll give you guys a heads up that this is actually Game 2 of the series, and all of our games in the tournament were a best of 3. This is Game 2, and Dysk, he won the first game, and this is now the second game, and so Pyaasa is kind of fighting for his life here.
That's very true, and you know, the first game was also very solid. Dysk has displayed, up to this point, very good Zerg play. He is a very good micromanager. I must say, he has good macro as well, but I must say, for a Zerg at the mid-level of StarCraft 2 play, displays very nice macro, especially against other Zerg, which he's faced quite a number of up to this point in the tournament. And you know what? He might just be one of the better micro Zergs that I have seen.
Yeah, he's really good, and I can almost say he's better than me at doing.
Are you actually admitting that?
Yeah, I am. He's really good. But let's get right into this game. So Dysk did do a 14 pool. He's now getting his Ling speed, and Pyaasa actually went and got a fast expansion, and right now is taking some punishment from Dysk by coming down here. But I found that Pyaasa likes to get a bunch of spine crawlers at the beginning of games. I know we won't be able to cast all of his games, but he really does favor the defense, and a lot of times it actually keeps him alive.
Yeah, it does. Something you know that I would like to point out for those of you who are a little bit of a lower level player is that if you are going to build something like spine crawler or cannon or anything, turrets included, the best thing that you want to keep in mind essentially is that if you are going to spend money on those defensive buildings, make sure that you are doing it with a purpose. Don't just throw them in front of your base. Sometimes throw them in between your mineral line and your expansion. If you don't do that, make sure where you're putting them funnels the enemy where you want them to go. Don't just aimlessly throw them around. And as you see here, where Pyaasa is throwing these, not really funneling them into a great area. They can just walk around the other side of his base.
Yeah, one thing in that I did spectate this match when it was going on, and I was kind of yelling at the screen because these spine crawlers are not the greatest place. As you can see, Dysk can just run right inside this base here and do some damage. I really would have liked to have seen the spine crawlers kind of up here a little bit more, closer towards the choke going into his main. But you know what? I will say that, you know, there's a lot of pressure going on in this tournament. I mean, the stakes aren't high, but, you know, sometimes when you have all the eyes on you and you got an audience and stuff like that, you usually, well, I don't want to say usually, but sometimes you let
choke up a bit.
You choke up a little bit. Yeah.
I definitely do. I mean, anytime anybody's watching me play any game, and not even just StarCraft, I am horrible under pressure. I mean, I'm horrible to begin with, but I'm really bad under pressure. And as you can see here, speaking of pressure, Dysk doing an absolutely stellar job of keeping the pressure on Pyaasa, which even when you're facing a Zerg player as another Zerg, very good to keep the pressure on.
Yeah, and did a really good job at stopping those Bailing there from doing some serious damage against those Ling. At this point, though, I don't agree with what Dysk is doing. He's continuously bringing down some Ling, building a couple Bailing, trying to get in there, do some damage. In the meantime, Pyaasa sitting calm, not panicking, building up his unit count, getting his income up, taking that lead in the economical, getting that economical advantage, while Dysk is just still kind of, look at this, building more Bailing and just trying to put on pressure. But at this point, right now he needs to worry about starting to build a base.
That's very true. He should be expanding, and you know what? From all the matches that came up before, up to this point, Dysk does very similar builds in every match. It's like he has his openings mastered very well, and he does an extremely good job. And as you can see here, coming in here with all these, and that's gonna end. Oh, no, maybe yes, no. All right, look at that beautiful micro by Pyaasa to get those Ling and drone out of the way and minimalizing damage there. That could have been very bad.
Oh, that would have been god-awful. In fact, that would have just sucked all the way bad. But he did a fantastic job at keeping these Ling alive and focus firing with these spine crawlers to get those Bailings destroyed. And my cat is crying really loudly right now. I hope you guys don't hear it.
Yeah, if you can hear Max, that not the other Max, but the cat Max, that would be why. But anyway, like I was saying, Dysk likes to do the same things a lot. He likes to come in with fast Baneling and a couple of Zergling and continue to put on pressure with the Baneling as a backup, and he's not changing in this match. As you can see, continuing to try and put on the pressure, and I'm afraid he's going to back himself into a corner here soon.
Yeah, he's definitely backing himself in a corner. I can see that Dysk's APM is actually not a whole lot higher than Pyaasa's. He does move quite a bit quicker, and it looks like these Ling are going to do some damage, but running back out, got a couple of Bailing in here, and boom! There goes all those Ling right at once, and this is Dysk's opportunity here to take out these spine crawlers and do a little bit of damage to this drone count.
Yeah, definitely. But you know what? There's not going to be a whole lot. There's just too many spine crawlers here, and he can keep bringing them in and keep getting rid of them. But at this point, the Zergling count's going to be too low. Pyaasa's going to have enough reinforcements in his base to come out here and defend, and there they are. They are out and gone. And once again, building up those spine crawlers. He really, really loves them. But you know what? I can't hate on him for it because it's keeping him alive, doing a good job keeping those Banelings at bay for the most part.